What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be starting a new series called Odd Switch. Basically, we will be comparing two different switches that are oddly similar but at two really different price points. For our first episode, we will be comparing the Akko Jelly Blacks and the Gateron Box Ink Black V2s. First up, let's start with prices. The Akko Jelly Blacks are being priced at $12 per box. Each box is 45 pieces, so realistically, you will be getting 2 boxes. That will cost you $24 for 90 pieces of Akko Jelly Blacks. And that's about 27 cents for one switch, and honestly, I think that's a really cheap price. As for our premium switch today, it's going to be the Gateron Box Ink Blacks. As for these switches, they are being priced at $21.25 for 25 switches. So you would have to get 75 switches minimum, and that will cost you about $63.75. And that's about 85 cents per piece. So we will be taking a look at these switches that are oddly similar, but one of them is 3 times the price. First up, let's dive into the Akko Jelly Blacks. As one of the most popular custom keyboard switches, the Akko CS series has actually gotten a lot of good feedback from the keyboard community. Previously, they have released 6 switches in the Akko CS family, but now they introduced the Akko Jelly series into the Akko CS family. They start off with stating about the general animax structure, and that will basically fit any keycap. And of course, the thing I find the most refreshing about the Akko CS switches, the fact that they are equipped with a north-facing LED slot for LED modification. It is also compatible with SMD LED. So the Akko CS Jelly Black switch is a linear switch. It has an operating force of 50 grams, a total travel of about 4 mm, and a pre-travel of 1.9 mm. Next up is our Gateron Box Ink Black V2s. The Gateron Box Ink V2 switches take after the original Gateron Ink V2 switches by expanding on the unique sound signature of the Ink Blacks. It incorporates a shorter travel as long as a long spring for a snappy return. The Gateron Box switches utilize the same material as the regular Ink V2 switches, which we know and love. So the Gateron Box Black Ink V2 switches are a linear switch. They have an operating force of 60 grams, bottoming out at 70 grams, and a 19 mm spring. Now let's take a closer look at them. Some differences you can instantly spot. The color of the switches are very different. The Jelly Black is much darker and has a more concentrated black in compared to the Ink Black, which looks a little lighter and translucent. Aside from that, let's go ahead and open them up. Opening up the Jelly Blacks are actually significantly harder to do compared to the Box Ink Blacks. The Jelly Blacks require more strength. You actually have to pry open the switch after using the switch opener compared to the Box Inks, which just pop off once pressure is applied. They both have box stamps, but taking a closer look, the Gateron Box Ink Black actually has a longer stamp hole compared to the Jelly Blacks. The Jelly Blacks actually have a slight curvature on the top of the stamp near the inner wall. I'm guessing this is supposed to help with stem wobble, so we will be testing that out later on. Moving on to springs. The springs are actually really different. The Box Ink Blacks have a black coated stainless steel spring of 20mm. I don't know about you guys, but I actually like the black coated color. It actually makes the switch look more complete. The springs on the Jelly Black is actually way longer than the normal Box Ink Blacks. They did not say any measurements on their website, so I was actually quite surprised to know that there is a longer spring compared to the Box Ink Blacks. As for the bottom housing, we're gonna start off with the biggest difference in switches. Jelly Blacks have a 3-pin configuration, while the Box Ink Blacks have a 5-pin configuration. But considering the price you're paying for these switches, you would expect 5 pins, so it's not a surprise. We're gonna move on to lubing now. Everything went decently well, but I do have to say that the Jelly Black leaves actually tend to pop out or bend while opening up the switches, while the Box Ink Blacks were fine. So do take note of that while you are doing your Jelly Black switches. I did not film them, I just used good old lube, so here's a sound comparison between lubed and unlubed for both switches. Lastly, we're gonna cover stem wobble. The Jelly Blacks obviously have a little more wobble with a 3-pin configuration, but I do have to say I'm actually quite surprised by how tight this stem is. It's actually pretty cool, pretty insane. I would say I've covered most of the base details of these switches. If you guys want me to add any kind of specific information, please comment that down below for the next odd switch. But for now, here's the typing comparisons for Unlubed. Next up, we're gonna compare them lubed. I would say I'm a little disappointed in the Jelly Blacks. I expected something poppier or talkier. It sounds really average, but it might have been the keyboard I was using. I would say they are definitely worth the price though. They are really cheap, and if I had those for those price, I would be happy with it. The tapping experience is decently smooth, and I'm pretty sure you can achieve a better sound with a different keyboard. The Gateron Box Ink Blacks, on the other hand, I find insane. The feel is godlike. Of course, it is a premium switch. I can understand why people wouldn't want to spend so much money on switches, but if I had a choice, I would be buying Gateron Box Ink Blacks. The sound, feel, and the build quality of the Switch just exceeded my expectations, and I really think that they did a really good job on the Switches. Anyway, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to Pantheon for sending over the Gateron Box Ink Blacks. Really appreciate it. We have come to the end of the first episode of Odd Switch. If you guys like this content, go ahead and click subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts, any ways to improve the series, or your thoughts on the Switches. Comment down below anything, I will reply to it, or at least like it. And like the video, of course, why not? So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.